Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Ditch Decade Diets podcast. I am your host, Lorna, certified food freedom coach and founder of the Ditch Decade Diets Academy. I've spent 10 years in an unhealthy relationship with food, binge eating, over-exercising, and feeling insecure in my body. This podcast is all about helping you get to the root of your food struggles and teaching you how to rewire your brain so you can end binge eating. If you're ready to improve your relationship with food and cultivate more self-love towards yourself and your health, this is the podcast for you. So let's get to it and jump right in. Hello, Badass Podcast community. Welcome back to another episode of the Ditch Decade Diets podcast. I am recording this Sunday evening at 7:42 p.m. And I just had an incredible weekend spent with Andrew's family and my family. And it was just like a really good weekend to recharge my batteries. I wasn't really on social media a lot. The reason I'm recording this so late in the evening is because I'm committed to a podcast and I really wanted to just spend the weekend with my family and not have to worry about getting a podcast out. So here I am wanting to get a podcast out today, but this is the time that I was able to record it and just be fully present for you guys, and give you guys the juice of kind of what happened this weekend. So I want to talk about dessert, sweets, desserts, all of that jazz, because this weekend when I was at Andrew's parents' house, we ended up going out for dessert at this dessert place. And if you've ever been here, you know that it's an incredible dessert place and it's called Dimitri's. And I want to share my mindset around dessert and how you can start really shifting your thoughts around dessert, shifting your mindset around dessert so that you can have a better relationship with sweets and treats and dessert, going out for dessert without stress, without anxiety, without feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to restrict in order for me to enjoy dessert. Or I'm just going to say F it and binge because, well, I'm going to eat dessert and I'm falling off track with my diet and getting into that screw it mentality. So this dessert place we went to on Saturday night, and we went after dinner. And this dessert place has obviously 1,000,001 different desserts. And I remember just a few years ago, I would say probably 2019 or something like that. This was a place that I honestly would never, ever go to because dessert, you would never catch me eating dessert. I was known as the healthy one in my friend group. I was on some type of diet for 10 years of my life. So there would be no way that it would ever fit a diet plan. It would never fit my macros. So I would never either go to this place, or even if I didn't, I wouldn't order dessert. And there were so many times where, my friends would ask me hey, go to Dimitri's, or even Andrew, he loves this place. And I remember this one time in 2019, I think it was a February of 2019. And I remember him asking hey, do you want to go for date night? Let's go to Dimitri's. And he gets so excited because he loved this place and it is so good. And he's a little kid on Christmas, getting so excited, let's go to Dimitri's for a date night. And I remember just getting so flustered and agitated because don't you know I'm on a diet? Don't you know I can't eat that? Don't you know that I would want that, but I don't want to mess up with my diet? And I would get so angry and make it all about him when it was really all about me getting so triggered, not wanting to quote unquote ruin my diet. And so many times I would go, and in this February in particular, I remember showing up. I remember going because the look on Andrew's face of let's go to this place. I'm so excited. Let's go for date night. There was no way I could say no to that face. He was literally so excited. So I remember going this February of 2019 and sitting down, and obviously I didn't get anything because there was no way. I'm not going to ruin my diet. This is so many calories. I wanted it, but I was so scared to eat it. I wanted it, but I didn't want to spiral into a binge. I wanted it, but I couldn't just last minute plan to have dessert, like I can't just like spontaneously do that. Like I already ate so much throughout the day. Like you can't just like tell me like, hey, we're going to this dessert place in 10 minutes. Like I need like a week's notice, not anymore, but obviously in the past I did. And I remember sitting there and watching him just eat dessert. And my body was like boiling with like agitation mixed with sadness, mixed with all these emotions of like aggravation of I'm so upset that we're here. Like, why did you take me to this place type of thing? Like, why are we here? Like, I want it, but I can't have it. So I'm angry and I'm like mad that we're here because I want it, but I feel like I can't have it. But then there was also these feelings of sadness where I was like not allowing myself to enjoy this beautiful date night. I was pissed off at myself because I'm literally so agitated and I didn't want to ruin an amazing night. I didn't want to ruin such a good night where Andrew's so happy, he's having fun and he's just so grateful and excited to be here. And I'm in like such a crappy mood because I'm mad that we're here, but I'm also sad because I'm agitated and I don't want the date to go like this. Like I want to be happy, but like these are the feelings that I'm feeling right now. And I remember like walking into the bathroom and just like literally just feeling so emotional because it made me so sad that like food was such a huge part of my life and it was impacting my date night. It was ruining my date night. I was like loving it one moment, binging, and then hating it the other day. And it was just like my whole life was consumed around food. Like we want to have a good date night. And all I'm stressing about is like the calories and like how mad I am at myself of the fact that like I'm not allowing myself to have it and I can't have it and all these different emotions all at once. And maybe you're here right now where you're allowing yourself to have the dessert, but you feel guilty. Maybe you're not allowing yourself to have dessert, but then you binge on it. Or maybe you are restricting yourself in order for you to have dessert, right? There's kind of those three different types of people. And I was all three of them, right? That one February, I didn't allow myself to have it. I'm like, no, you can't have it. But meanwhile, like literally, I'm pretty sure like the next day or the next week after, like I definitely had a binge, right? And then there were definitely times where I'm like, well, screw it. Like I'm gonna binge. It's already so many calories. Like there's not even a point of trying to do good for later or tomorrow. Like I already messed up. Right. And then there'd be many times of like, if I did know in advance that I was going out for dessert, I like wouldn't eat all day or like barely eat so that I could quote unquote justify having the dessert. And none of those things are healthy. This weekend, Saturday, it was so spontaneous. I had no idea that we were going to go here. It wasn't like we planned it a week in advance. Like we all just had dinner. And then, his mom's like, hey, like, do you guys want to go to this dessert place? Do you want to go to Dimitri's? And it was just like, yeah, like, sure. Like, let's go, And this is how life is supposed to be with regards to your relationship with food. Spontaneous, fun, easy, flow. There was no ounce of my body that was like, oh, why are we here? Like, I'm so freaking frustrated. Like, I'm so mad at myself. Like, why are we here? There was no anger. There was no sadness because I enjoyed it. I was actually so excited. Like on the car ride there, like I was so excited because I enjoy this place. Now, I don't get into the screw it mentality of like, oh, going to a dessert place. Well, yeah, might as well order like, the most calorie thing on the menu and just say screw it. I actually wasn't like super hungry. We literally just had dinner. So I was like, honestly, for the sake of my stomach, I asked Andrew if he wanted to split one with me. Like these are massive. If you saw my stories, it's a humongous waffle. I got a huge ice cream on top with Nutella, chocolate, bananas, ice cream. Like it's a whole thing. Like it's a whole thing. And many times I can eat one actually by myself. But last night Saturday night, I was like, honestly, like let's just split it, you know? So we had it and that's it. Moved on. Like, I didn't feel the need to restrict the next day. I didn't be like, oh no, I can't go out for dessert because I didn't know, a week in advance so I can plan for this. Like, your relationship with food, your relationship should feel just effortless. And the thing is, you guys, you can be a healthy person and still enjoy all the foods that you love. This is very important to understand. You can be healthy. You can take such good care of yourself and still enjoy dessert. Do I go to this dessert place every day? No. Do I go every week? No. Do I even go every month? No. So, first of all, it's not an everyday occurrence, right? Like, if you were obviously going to this dessert place every single day, like, probably that you wouldn't feel good, right? Like, obviously. But it's like, if you don't do it every so often and you're still taking really good care of yourself, you're a healthy person. My version of being healthy is not even about the food. It's how I feel about the food. To me, I'm so healthy because I feel relaxed around food. I feel calm around food. I get excited, but I can stop when I'm full. I can split some with my husband and not feel like, oh my gosh, like I better eat it all. Like, there's none of that. You can still be a healthy person and enjoy dessert. It's not black or white. I know many of you guys are used to rules, and I was so used to rules as well too, of like, oh, I'm a healthy person. That means I can't eat dessert. Oh, I'm a healthy person. That means I need vegetables at every meal. Oh, I'm a healthy person. That means I need to work out 7 days a week. Oh, I'm a healthy person. It's like we have all these like thoughts in our mind of like what health looks like, what health feels like. And my definition of health has transformed so many times. To me, I'm a healthy person. Yeah, I eat the majority of my home cooked meals, but I can go out for dessert and not bat an eye, not stress about it, not freak out, not get so anxious, not be like, oh my gosh, I got to go check the calories. None of that. And to me, that is health. If you remind yourself that you are allowed to eat dessert guilt-free, without judgment, without shame, without beating yourself up, and you don't let your mind spiral into the all or nothing mentality, that's when you are literally able to have the dessert and move on. The times in the past where I was judgmental of myself, I was critical of myself, I had these thoughts in my mind of like, you're a failure, you're falling off track. When you have those thoughts in your mind, that's when the rebel comes out and it's like, oh, because you feel like you're doing something wrong, I'm just going to go and binge because I'm already doing something wrong. Oh, because I'm doing something wrong, well then tomorrow I got to restrict or I got to work out extra to make up for this. If you let your thoughts spiral into, I'm a failure, I'm bad, I'm falling off track, I got to restrict, I got to burn off these calories, or you let your mind say, again, I'm just going to binge, like screw it, I already ate so much, like this week is a write-off, this weekend is a write-off. Those are the thoughts that are unhealthy. Your thoughts will keep you in the diet binge cycle. What's different now compared to 2019 when I went to this place, this dessert place? I actually order the same, I'm so basic. I literally order the same thing whenever I tend to go. But the difference between 2019 Lorna and the difference between this Lorna is I changed my thoughts. When you have diet culture thoughts floating in your mind, your thoughts create feelings and your feelings create your behaviors. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so bad, I'm such a failure, you're going to feel the guilt, the shame, and the judgment. And when you feel those things, then you're going to take action that's either going to cause you to restrict or binge. Versus when you have healthy thoughts, I'm allowed to eat this. I'm allowed to enjoy all foods. I'm still a healthy person. I'm not doing anything wrong. I get to enjoy this. It's like, ooh, you get excited. And because you don't feel like you're doing anything wrong, you can stop when you're full. You can split half with your partner and not get into like this scarcity mindset. This is so important. I changed my thoughts And as a result, I changed my behaviors with food. When you change your thoughts and you learn my process for reframing your thoughts, you're going to literally be the healthiest person you know, who not only has a good relationship with food, but you have a healthy mindset around food. You have these positive, healthy thoughts. And literally that alone can be everything that you need to not get into this binge mindset or this restrict mindset after having dessert. Like, you can just stop when you're full. This is freedom. This is freedom. When you know how to change your diet culture thoughts, it's going to set you free. It's truly going to set you free. Right now, food might be on your mind 24/7, and the thoughts that you're thinking are all about food. Should I eat this? Should I not eat this? Is this good? Is this bad? What are the calories? I've been there, but I have been able to not only reframe my thoughts, I've not only been able to change my thoughts, but I've been able to help hundreds of my clients reframe their diet culture thoughts. They can eat for fuel, enjoy dessert, enjoy chocolate without their mind convincing them, oh no, that's too high in sugar. You probably should just stay at home, or you should probably just eat an apple instead. Reframing your thoughts is not complicated. It can actually be quite simple once you learn this process. And once you do, guess what? You can just eat. You can go out for dessert. You can have the chocolate. You can just eat the pasta. You can eat your breakfast without the crazy diet culture noise inside of your mind, judging every single calorie that you're consuming, forcing yourself to choose the lowest calorie option when you know that's not going to be satisfying for you and it just causes you to binge later on. When I had my diet culture thoughts and I was sitting there at the dessert place back in 2019, you can't eat this. There's no way you can eat this. It's like, it literally caused me to binge afterwards. And then when I would have thoughts of like, you're such a failure, you're falling off track with your diet, might as well just binge. It's like, I literally would just binge either way. So when you learn how to reframe your diet culture thoughts and you stop judging yourself, you stop letting guilt get in the way, you stop letting food literally consume every single moment of your waking day, that will set you free. Most people just automatically believe every single thought that pops up in their mind to be true. You're a failure. You can't eat that. You're going to gain so much weight. Like all these thoughts, right? You just believe them to be true. It's like, oh, I think this thought, well, it must be true. But this is why you continue to be scared to go out for dinner. This is why you fear carbs. This is why you force yourself to have protein and vegetables at every single meal and stress about, oh, I got to burn X amount of calories during my workouts. I have to choose the lowest calorie option. I know I really want the chocolate, but I should probably have the apple instead. And I want to help you rewire your thinking around food because this will change everything for you. Like I said, I've gone to this dessert place many, many, many times. And the times that I've been able to go and eat without guilt, without shame, without restricting the next day, without binging, literally splitting half with my husband, naturally stopping when I'm full, not having this thing in my mind of like, oh, it's a Saturday and I'm eating dessert. So, well, Sunday, I'm also going to my parents' house. So F it, I'm just going to eat whatever and not even care about my health. That doesn't happen when you have healthy thoughts. When you have diet culture thoughts or you have y'all or nothing mentality, that's when you get in trouble. The thoughts that you think impact how you feel, and how you feel impacts your behaviors with food. So if you want to stop the binging, if you want to stop the diet binge cycle, you need to learn how to reframe your diet culture thoughts. So I decided to create a masterclass. It is called Reframe Your Diet Culture Thoughts. And this is going to be one of the most transformational masterclasses that I'm going to run because you need to shift your diet culture thoughts. If you have been dieting for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 plus years, there's a lot of thoughts that are in your mind right now that are not even true, that you're believing to be true, that is impacting your relationship with food. Carbs are bad. You better have protein in every single one of your meals. You got to get 10,000 steps every single day. Like, you shouldn't have carbs for breakfast. You need a savory breakfast, like whatever thoughts you can't eat after 7 o'clock. All of those diet culture thoughts need to be reframed and need to be rewired. And that is exactly what I'm going to help you master inside of this masterclass. So if you're ready to quiet your inner critic diet culture thoughts and be able to just effortlessly eat what you want for lunch without judgment, be able to go out for dessert without guilt, be able to just after your lunch have something sweet, enjoy the piece of chocolate and move on with your day, this masterclass is going to be for you. So I run a masterclass every single month. It is part of my Root and Rewire membership. So if you're part of this membership, you get this included. However, if you're not part of the membership, you can absolutely join us. I would love to have you. And the masterclass is happening on December 6th at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The replay will be available. You never have to worry about catching it live with me. All the replays are always available. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. So you can join us. You can join us for the masterclass separately, or you can join us inside of the membership and get it included. So I will leave both links down below in the show notes. If you do the masterclass and you love it and you want to upgrade to the membership, what you spent on the on the masterclass would just get credited. If you automatically know you want to join my membership, and this is included, then you can join that as well too. This is going to be such a transformational masterclass, and I'm so excited to bring it to you for the month of December, especially with all of the crazy, sweets and treats and holiday festivities are going to be around here. If you know how to reframe your diet culture thoughts, a sneaky thought can come in your mind of you shouldn't be eating that, and I'm going to help you reframe it so you can enjoy that cookie. You can have the chocolate guilt-free and be able to move on with your day. So I'm very excited. I hope to see you inside of this masterclass, but regardless, you are able to enjoy all foods free of guilt, and you can still be a very healthy person. And again, this is all about reframing your mindset around this. So can't wait to see you guys in the masterclass. Have an amazing rest of your week whenever you're listening to this, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.